let's go, and burn them. Like there's no tomorrow. And a classic full swing should be in order here. And I will be ultra greedy here. Double Funeral Room. And we are live gaining 2 every time a creature dies, and we have basically infinite creatures in this hand. We swing all, and we see if our opponent sees the play. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here. Today we are going with Orzhov Sacrifice, everyone's favorite, with all the new Ether Drift cards like Embalmed Ascendant, so you can drain your opponent at max speed. It also creates 2 creatures, so it's very nice for sacrificing. And Zahur, Glorious Past, which is very strong 2-drop that can also sacrifice creatures. You surveil, and at max speed you create creatures by sacrificing creatures. Of course they need to be non-token, but it's very good value. And we'll be using all of them together with Funeral Room, card that isn't new, but it will probably be new for you because nobody is using it, and in a way it is a small Meathook Massacre, and you will see it in today's games and you can judge for yourself. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised, and we got some wins with this card. We also will play Drivnod, Carnage Dominus card I absolutely loved since forever, and whenever a creature dies and triggers some kind of permanent effect, it triggers additional time, and we have a lot of death triggers in this deck. On top of this, you can also make it indestructible for 2 Phyrex and mana and exiling 3 creatures from the graveyard, so we have a lot of creatures that we can exile. It's 5 mana, it's synergistic with the death triggers, so it just fits exactly this type of deck. So guys, we will go into games, we'll talk more about the deck in the outro, and I hope you will like it and have fun. Alright, we are going first. We have pretty decent opening. We don't have the 3rd mana, which is very scary. But we should have removal, so we can still fight for the board even if we miss Evangelist. Golgari or Zultai, we'll see. Surveil kinda suggests that it could be something more. Alright, we definitely will play with this. If you want to be super... Can I, please? You can be absolutely super aggressive, and you can sacrifice this at the end step because it deals 1 extra damage every turn, but you know, usually it's not a good value. Oh, it's roots. I see. Interesting. And the elves. Elves are very scary. Now let's see. I might be forced to remove elves, to be honest. My turn. Alright guys, this is big turn. This is big turn. I think we have to go Zahur into stab, but I would love to go Evangelist here. Man, this could be so much damage, but then they get extra mana point. Maybe it's worth it. If we go this, we can get the speed thing. It's really good as well. I will go like this, and the reason is maximum speed. They cannot kill Bartolomé, so they're not even trying. Smart decision, but we are getting to 2 speed already. Gorehound is super strong, but I think elves are even better. Very scary stuff from our opponent so far. Next turn is probably Evangelist, because we need to start thinking about killing them. Like, you won't be able to stop them forever. You have like a window to kill them, basically. Alright. You may cast creature spells from your graveyard. And foraging is food or exiling 3 cards, alright. But they still need to pay the mana, right? In addition, yeah, so they still need to pay the original cost. Oh, this could be a very strong card, but not now, not now. I think we literally just swing. Do we swing with this guy? The answer is yes, they really don't want to lose the Adept. Yep, see? That's pure damage. Alright, down to 10. And now I think we go Evangelist. And then we finalize with Funeral Room. And we swing all, and that will make it so much harder for them. Alright, alright. We have a lot of sacrifice. I think we might even put the counter of Linkbreaker. But we'll see. Alright, roots coming in, so it starts. Unfortunately, it starts. We might be forced to burn them with Funeral Room. Okay, okay, it's 2 mana. That's actually as slow as it gets. I mean, I know 2 mana, not reanimation, but taking the card from the graveyard. It's just ultra expensive. It's not 1 mana, it's 2 mana. And I think with this, we will be able to finish them. Yeah, because we can sacrifice all the creatures as well after the combat phase, and that should be enough damage. Alright, man, I tell you, this was so close. 1 extra turn for them, and I think they would go absolutely crazy. Maybe we would still burn them thanks to the Funeral Room, but it would be way worse. Way worse. Let's go, and burn them. Like, there's no tomorrow. And a classic full swing should be in order here. And I will sacrifice it on this turn, not the dance step, because this deals extra damage. And with Battle Cry, they can only block 3. Like, even from 10, I think we could burn them as long as they don't have the life gain, and they don't. So this should be good enough. Alright, they're going for the sacrifice engines. That's very smart. That is very smart. But I think this is 4, 6. It's not lethal. It's actually not lethal. Alright. Okay, we need to count. So this is 6. If we do this, I think we win perfectly. We don't need to kill it, we just need to get rid of it. That means our sacrifice engine survives. And I think they needed to block with this as well. They went greedy, and we absolutely punished it. Now they are getting dealt 6 damage, and we sacrifice because we have this engine. Okay, it doesn't matter. And we sacrifice 3 creatures, and Funeral House Room just won the game. Man, this could not be closer. Oh boy, this was so close. And our opponent blocked perfectly except this. They needed to block with this one as well, and they went greedy. They didn't realize how quick lethal we have. Alright, going first, we don't have 1-drop, but at least we have Zahur. And our 3-drops are pretty impressive. They will create so many creatures. Alright, so this is probably Overlord, up the Beanstalk deck. Whenever you see this land, it's like probably this. Let's go. And we really need to be start aggressive, because they will go absolutely over the top in like 3 or 4 turns. And we need to pressure them super hard by then. This will be hard. This will be hard. Fabled Passage. Sure, let's see what the land is. Blue. Interesting. Usually they don't play blue. Maybe it's like full domain deck. Alright, this is interesting. So this is our huge play. I think we'll go with Lord Skitter. If they play this, they might be caring about the graveyard. And they don't have like any counterplay to this on this turn. So we are guaranteed the value. Let's get rid of it. Keep their graveyard clear. And there's also 3 creatures. Even if they have a lockdown, they cannot remove most of the board, and we can surveil once. So I think this is a good plan. I think this should be working. Avatar. So Overlords. Here's the first one, as we expect. That's why we need to go fast. And that means Sunfall on the next turn already. Very scary stuff. Very scary stuff. We'll definitely go with Mirrex, and my question is, do we keep this board? Because this is already enough to force a Sunfall, and then we make a token at the end step. I think this is the play. This should be good enough to just force, their reaction. Down to 10. They will Sunfall, we make a creature. We could also set this up, but nothing will die. Everything will be just exiled. So I think that the token is actually better. This Mirrex might end up winning us the game, and don't forget we also have Fortress, so we can deal a lot of damage after they are tapped. Damage that cannot really be prevented. So I expect a Sunfall 100% on this turn. If they are good at magic, they drew it. If they are bad at magic, they didn't, and they will lose the game. Because, like, you need Sweeper at this point. You cannot contain it. Like, even if they had infinite Get Lost, they would kill those 2 creatures, and those 2 would still remain. We add the token, and it's already 3 damage, even with, like, mass removal. I think this is not good enough. I think this is too slow, and we'll go with Funeral Room, probably. We'll also get the maximum speed on the next turn, which will make it way easier. We could even go for... Yeah, I think they lost. I think they missed their spot. So, let's go for this. Extra creature. This might be binding, so they actually have 1 removal. That's really good for them. That might be a bit of a problem for us. Alright, what is the verdict? What is the creature? Oh, the one that we... Alright, this is actually the one that hurts us the least, probably. Alright, definitely a land. I mean, we play this, right? That's the play. Because they hope to block our creatures with those moths. And that's a full swing. Let's go. Let's go. We need to burn them for this last piece of damage. Oh boy. Now we have everything. Alright. I don't need a stop, and I will still do this stuff. Non-token creature. We could deal damage already with Lord Skitter. I'm going for it. I'm legit going for it. Because then we can sacrifice a lot, and we need to burn... we need to burn them very quickly. I mean, do we go for it? They will kill it, probably. It's a good creature. And pretty cheap, so we can combine it with Mirrex. So this can be activated only once a turn, so that's why we are doing it now. Alright, going first, let's see what we are doing here. Let's go with play so far. Maybe we'll go Mirrex on the next turn, but we'll see. We need to be a little bit aggressive. Do you believe? Is this enough? Oh boy. Let's go. We are going with the Hive against Mono Red. The ultimate test. Oh, this could be... Okay, is it? I wonder if that's a cycling deck. Usually it's cycling deck, but with Slickshot they probably play something a little bit different. Alright, guys. We need to do stuff here. I kinda want to go with this and Sage. This is a very good setup for future, but you know what? Let's go for the Evangelist, because then we will get a flyer. And it's very hard to remove as well. Like, we need a little bit of time, because we didn't hit any of our removal spells, so that makes it way more rough. Alright, there. Okay, so the next turn will be pretty devastating. I hope we won't die, but we might. So for this reason, we'll be extra careful. We'll play Mirrex to get the perfect mana. We need something to sacrifice creatures. I would love some life gain. You know what? I think we go with this into this. This should be good enough to survive. We can sacrifice so many creatures if we really want to. It's full swing. Worst case, we'll block with those. And I mean, this stacks really quickly. Like, this is a lot of them. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can kill them on the next turn. Oh, they're going with the Slick Shot. Let's see how much damage this will be. I really hope they won't get the double strike. They don't have Delirium, so this double striking card is not yet active. Sorcery and Sorcerer, so I think this will be a single strike, and I think that's not enough to kill us. But man, this is scary. If they were on the play, we would be in some serious trouble. Alright, they can block. That's important. Swing. Monster straight. You can tell. You can see that it's already getting insanely scary. I could block it, but with Trample it doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, I think we just swing. Oh my god, that was so much damage. I want to point out, this Slick Shot was not even in the board on last turn. So what we will do We will have to double pain ourselves. We will go with this before combat phase. Man, I will actually close to die. I'm not sure if we can do it. But we're live gaining, that's super important. We swing all, and we see if our opponent sees the play. Do they see the play? I will say the Evangelist. Oh, they see the play. Of course, we will start to sacrifice. We will go with this guy to not show that we have flyer. I guess this always have the trample right now, but you know, it's fine. We can probably kill them after. I just realized we can just sacrifice our creature. No, this was a perfect reaper, but we could sacrifice the whole board after it. Alright, our opponent is going first, but I kinda like this draw. Those 1-drops are so important to your game plan. We absolutely go with the fast land, we go with this, especially on the draw you need to, you know, quickly start getting some board presence and board pressure. So the next creature will probably die. I mean, let's attack and see what happens. There is a chance they react, especially if they have Smite, because it exiles. With this situation, I guess we need to go through the counter spells. This is the better card. But we have, you know, the speed thing on the next turn too. I expect a counter spell, so I will play this. I don't need the sacrifice effect. I expect no more lies. Alright, that's interesting. We could get some value from the Linkbreaker. They're on the play, so they can be locking down the board, but not with this mana. They need double white for it. Already Jace. This is very interesting. So they will plus and go for you know, Bartolomé, and we might actually sacrifice enough creatures to go through it. I'm not sure. We will see. Because we can sacrifice a lot here. I think I will sacrifice once the Linkbreaker at least. Now we need to decide if we are actually going for this play. So if we sacrifice this, it's 0. I could go... I really want to play this probably. No, we go this into this. But in that case, lockdown completely destroys us. But they don't have the mana, I will take this risk. So I will play those creatures. So we sacrifice this, this and this. That will be 2 damage to Jace. Still not perfect, to be honest. Oh, and we don't have the mana. I think we... Okay, in this case... this is rough, man. I can deal 1 damage only. This is important. We need to decide how we play this. I will go a little bit greedy. We'll see, we can draw a lot. But I'm not sure if we will. A Hive, alright, this is a deal breaker. That means we are attacking just with this. This is really insane value with the Hive, and we need to set it up while they are tapped. So that completely changed this turn, and I think this could be good. It will be harder and harder for them to use Jace. They might use Get Lost on the Hive, but that will cost them the full turn, and they need to do it now, right? Because when we get to our upkeep, it's different. Yep. And we are already, like, those counters are permanent, so now it will be easier to attack Jace. They actually have it. But now we get some map tokens, so, you know, it's fine. Let's see the priority. Nothing. So they don't have place right now. This is very important information. We got the land, that's huge. Alright, I think we need to go hard on this turn. I mean, like, hard. We don't need this guy. I think we go this into Linkbreaker. And we can get 3 damage. You know what? We'll try to hit. Let's see. And we'll go with this guy. Oh, this is a nice card. I like it. Alright, with this we can pump enough. We can actually pump enough. I'm scared of lockdown, to be honest. We go like this, so we split the damage, we take the card, and we sacrifice the Linkbreaker. And we can finally solve the Jace problem. This was absolutely massive. This could be their setup for lockdown because we need to add to the board, so it's not amazing. That's why I don't want to unload all the cards. We can play this, but the main part of this is still, you know, the zombie token, so lockdown still hits most of it. Day of Judgment is a little bit better. We don't really get any value here. See, they were playing exactly like this, so now we need to go into resources game a little bit. We'll play this later. First, I think we go with the most expensive one that also creates two different creatures. We're a little bit slow with the speed, but we didn't have good situation to, you know, start it. It was always a little bit of the worst play. Alright, they got extremely good value here. But now, we can go for the fraud. That's every creature? No, you control. That's important. And let's set it up, right? Shall we? I can attack with this. They have the anchored. So if I attack with both, they will double block, which is a little bit painful. Then we are losing this. With this, we are not dealing too much. We drain one, but that's not too much. I think we will go like this. It's not perfect, but you know, we'll get there. They can use Fountain Pores to sacrifice fish. Maybe I should attack just to kill one fish, because that's a card, basically. We might get to 8 mana this game, so this room might be relevant. They will probably get losted before, but that's a threat they need to, you know, keep in mind. And if they want to draw cards, it's 3 mana, so they can only make one different play. It's not easy, but we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. And now our creatures can deal damage when they die. Still a long way to go. I wish they didn't get lost the Hive. That is basically the matchup we wanted for, but unfortunately they got the answer literally on the same turn. So we didn't really get any value from this. They're really tanking, so that might be a good sign that they don't know what to do. A stab. Or, I mean, this is something, you know? So first things first, let's swing all and see what happens. We are not going with the fortress because we have place. Stab is really good here. If they double block, we kill one of the fish. And they also will tap 3 mana. Alright, let's force the sacrifice. And that also means they only can no more lies as the counter spell. 3 steps ahead won't work anymore. And I don't think they will, you know, hard counter spell this one. They might, but I don't think they will. Oh my god. Okay, so if they are playing this tournament version, they have literally one of this card in the whole deck. Alright, that's extremely good for them. And they still can sacrifice something. Alright. So they didn't go for the sacrifice, they are holding mana for something. We deal some extra damage, which is super nice. And I think we'll go with Zahur. There's no point in being even slower than this. If they have a counter spell like 3 steps ahead, that's fine. Alright. I tell you, they have all the answers. Of course, there was absolutely 0 reasons to go like this. Sacrifice another creature. Let's go for it. We don't have maximum speed yet. We will have on the next turn. Do we want this? By the way, see, they needed to kill this, just scared of 8 mana thing. And of course the passive. This is not the best card and not the worst card. I think we need something better. Hopefully it won't be a land. Let's activate it again. And zombie is a little bit better than Zahur. So we want it a little bit better. I will take this. I will take this. Because when we lose Zahur, then we can replay it basically. Like this has abilities, this is only stats and nothing more. So if they are both at 3 power, this creature is just not relevant. So they kill this. So you want to make them even, so the decision is harder. So Aether Smite or a Sweeper? Oops, nope. Let's go to blockers. I'll take the risk. Let's see, they cannot shuffle Zahur. So I would expect this is another sweeper and they're left with one other card. They didn't even sacrifice the Fountain Port. Alright, I mean we don't really get any value if we sacrifice because we know the top card. They're really good at drawing perfect answers from start to finish, I have to say. Like they actually didn't whiff a single card so far. So that makes it so hard. Basically, if you are playing against control, oh my god, even the last card is perfect. And they have the mill. Are you serious? So they can draw the card, but there's Restless Fortress at least, so we can punish them for this at least. Alright. Let's go. I think with this draw they won. So basically, control decks would always win if they have always the perfect answer. The only reason control decks sometimes lose is that sometimes their cards do not match what you have as an aggro deck. So every time you see control deck just drawing perfectly, like basically that's game over from start. I'm not even playing. Alright, we're going first, and oh boy, this is a strange hand. Basically we will be playing like a token deck right now, but you know what? There could be nice potential here. Our opponent is really good at Magic by having a red mana in the deck. However, 2-drop on 1-drop on turn 2, 2-drop on turn 1. That's how we do it here. I will go with the Hive. If we can maybe get to 3 poison, we can start life gaining. We also will have Elspeth, so I hope we can survive. But it will be a long way to go. Alright. I think we'll create 2 creatures on this turn. Especially that we can start attacking on the next one. We could set this up. Oh, this is so tempting. I might regret this, alright? But if we can set it up, man, that will be juicy. That will be absolutely juicy. And we will be defending most of all. So, yeah. I wonder, do they have counter spell? No way. It's not a control deck. Alright, correct. Easy decision. However, they wasted 3 damage basically on this. So this basically life gained us 2 so far, which is super sweet, and we are getting those creatures every turn forever. So we need to survive, we need to stabilize. Alright, another one. So cycling cards will be absolutely brutal right now. I think we go with Evangelist, honestly. They will be a little bit easier to cast, I think. We are mana screwed, so that's never a perfect situation. I think we go with this. Just for mana efficiency. If I had different play for 2 mana, I would probably go this into this play. And it's also a 3 creatures basically, so that's pretty okay. They will probably cycle, so this will be at least 2/2. They probably can cycle at least 2 or 3 times this turn. Alright, that's okay. That is okay. They lost a card for it. So I will go like this. Oh my god, they lost it? And we live gain? Oh, this is the value we were looking for. And now we basically lost 1 life and we gained 1 life. Every time they are killing creatures, they don't really get any value. And now we can go for this. Alright, this is pretty sweet. Let's attack with this. I think we might have the situation when we start life gaining with those tokens. And I will be ultra greedy here. Double Funeral Room. And we are life gaining 2 every time a creature dies, and we have basically infinite creatures in this hand. Man, I think we are doing it. I think this will be absolutely crushing victory. Like, they don't have enough to, you know, answer everything. Even if they cycle and kill this, I mean, absolutely. We are life gaining every turn, basically. And with Hive, we will always overrun them. Yeah, I think this is working exactly as I hoped, man. And now we have lifelink on all our creatures. Let's go with the Sage twice. No, that's 1 Linkbreaker. This mercenary might be nice because we can pump the lifelinker, so it has a lifelink itself, basically. I don't know. I tell you, we crushed them. Well, I hope you enjoyed those games, and they were pretty crazy. And I have to say that Funeral Room definitely was a nice addition to the deck. Is that the best 3-drop? Probably not. To be absolutely fair, maybe even a creature like Evangelist or Lord Skitter or even Ascendant would be a little bit better. It's mythic rare, so you know I try to evaluate it very roughly, but honestly I still liked it. I think it brings pretty decent value, and even though you can go for creatures that do this kind of effect, creatures will die. This will usually survive way longer, and with things like Bartolomé, that you can basically sacrifice the whole board for 0 mana, it becomes a drain spell. If you have like, especially multiples, if you have like 2 funeral rooms and you have this and like 6 creatures, this is like 12 damage already, instantly. This will burn most of the opponents. So this is a very nice addition, especially if you can kill your creatures. So if they get Sunfold, they still die to this and they deal damage. And this is a very nice way to finish the game. However, even though I absolutely adore Drivnod, Carnage, Dominus, first, I usually didn't draw this card, and if I did draw this card, it just stood there in the hand because I was on the draw against Mono Red or something like this. Many decks can exile it. You usually don't really get value from this. It's also mythic rare, so unfortunately I need to, just cross. I think Drivnod is a perfect example of card that is a victim to current standard, where every deck is about playing 1-drops as quickly as possible so you don't die to Mono Red. Or to Sunfall. Like basically we are in this spot that you're either aggro Mono Red or Sunfall deck, and to be fair, there are not many Sunfall decks. Like I think Overlord is the most popular one, and yeah, I mean, this card just dies to all of the current decks because quick decks will kill you before it matters. It also has 3 toughness, so it will die to Lightning Strike, and a lot of decks run main deck like exile effects, like a Vacuum or something, which means you will never get the Indestructible on this. And yeah, the rest of the decks just Sunfall this or exile it because there is Mouse that is 1 red mana and it wins games even if you remove it. Everyone needs to run so many exile effects that Drivnod is absolutely the victim of this. So even if you get Indestructible, it might be worse than you think, especially if you have full board, they will just ignore it and Sunfall. So unfortunately, I think that Drivnod has to go. You need to replace it with probably 1-drops. Those 1-drops definitely performed, and Skrelv's Hive is very hard to use because it cannot be used for defense. However, in this deck, it kinda works because it gives you fodder, infinite tokens for the sacrifice effects, and usually you can force your opponent to be on the defense, and if you hit for 3 poison, they start to lifelink, which helps a ton. So I kinda liked it. It's a very risky choice, but it was working. I also wanted Archangel Elspeth, especially that with Ultimate you can get basically everything back. But it's just one, so we didn't really draw it. Maybe we can go with Drivnod and get 2 Elspeths. Maybe it will make the deck a little bit better. But to be absolutely honest, it's just about 1-drops and 2-drops. So at 1-drops, at 2-drops, we also have extremely good 3-drops with Evangelist that creates 3 creatures, or Lord Skitter that can create 1 creature a turn. And yeah, let's just roll with it. Funeral Room was pretty nice one, so I like this part. And before we wrap the video up, as always, I want to say a huge thank you for all the Patreons for just supporting the channel and caring about its future. Really thank you guys, and yeah, we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you. And I mean, that's it for the video. Tell me what you think in the comments. I always like reading those, and yeah, see you tomorrow.